Right, yeah, just a quick bit of study here. Now, I was just looking at some comments by these others there, and I noticed that the truth, right, becomes fruit. So, truth, if you read fruit backwards, right, it becomes truth. So, here you have the fruit of truth, which is biblical metaphor. Right? So you can basically see how this here works. As you see here, Jesus teaches that you will know them by their fruits. So obviously this is going to be another code, right? Where the fruit and the truth, right? And of course this ties in with that idea of the forbidden fruits, which is the day with the Garden of Eden, on the tree. So again, this sort of gives rise to a whole new way of code, right? So again, right, the forbidden fruit, FF 66. And there's the DD. In fact, basically the B and the DD becomes 666. The forbidden truth. So this is it's about the trans program, right? The forbidden truth. It's the hidden truth of the world, right? Is this trans program? What is behind everything and all this, right? Behind religions. It refers to the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? So again, this is their trans medicine. And when they disobeyed the command from the royal house, I would say, they committed the original sin, right? Which means going back to the single gendered nature, right? Leading to the expulsion from Eden. And again, the Eden thing is basically like the den, right? The lion's den, right? And the need, they're not needed anymore, right? If you get expulsion from Eden, you're not needed anymore by them, right? And they become aware of their nakedness. So again, to be naked is without the masking of the trans medicine. And that's why these Masonics put on the apron, right? Because the apron is a metaphorical thing that they've put on the disguise, like, they've took on the medicine. Now you've seen like the pictures, obviously, with their very short arms and the women's hips, right? And they've got the apron on, right? So, putting this apron on is a symbolizer of becoming trans. As you know, I was seeing these photographs, the short arms. Doing I'm a little teapot, or the 1-4, which I've seen off the Jungles video the other day, 1477. So basically, now this is the forbidden truth idea, right? It's the hidden truth, or forbidden truth, the hidden truth of things, right? Transes. That's why you've got the T's on it. Again, that's like basically like a circumcision tool. It symbolises that they've been under through the process. See, the apron, it's hiding the nakedness, right? Of being a normal, naturally born person, right? Who has not been through this program, which makes them into transes. And as I say, transgression, the consequences of transgression. So if you go against the rules, they basically expel you out this trans program, the family line. And we're not obviously not be trans. So in a way, it's like being expelled out of the society type of thing. And now what this film here seemed to be Forbidden Fruits, about a secret witch cult. So again, this is basically something with the trans idea again, with the dark aspects of temptation and sisterhood, which will be like brotherhood, sisterhood becoming like obviously these transes. So again, this is Masonic metaphor. Again, the forbidden truth, the hidden truth. An interesting thing there. Yes, they be considered Zalamun wrongdoers. And the spiritual form of Eve entered the tree, probably turned into a man, So it's quite an important little code, very simple, but quite an important code in the understanding of it. Of course, when you've got this concept of truthers, right? The conspiracy theorist type idea, not the truthers, right? Basically, it's become fruiters, fruiters. It's called keeping the roof on, right? Keeping the roof on the scam, basically, tea roof. And also taking the fruits themselves, the fruit users, fruit juice, trans juice. So basically, if you get obviously the majority of people who do conspiracy videos and all that are basically shills. Right? So to be a truther is basically to be a fruiter. So that's hidden truth, hidden fruits, forbidden fruits. Again, that's basically why they say that like number 4, the Dalit, right, in Hebrew is basically the symbol of God, because God is actually coming from the forbidden, right? So it's the hidden aspect, right? So number 4 is God. Like I said, the BDD 666. So the nature of good and evil, right? When these transes partake of this serum or process thing, they then know the nature of good and evil. They basically view the natural person as just evil. But for them, they having passed through this process, they think it's the nature of good and evil. Obviously, they deal with this stuff, like the commoner becomes unclean, commoner. So the Dalit, the 4th letter of the Hebrew, represents matriarchs. Which again means behind the idea of a father God thing is actually an matriarchal type idea, which is obviously related to this religion. There's your Dalit symbol, which is basically become 7. So there's the 7 things related to Dalit, number 4. Become basically the number of God idea, So basically, all this stuff is related to that again, like the forbidden, the forbidden. Darla's doorway, obviously doorway is to do with Janus, which again is the two faces, right? Which is four, right? They say you have like four looks like a nose, right? So you have two mirrored fours, like one like next to each other, right? One pointing right and one pointing left, mirrored four, right? It becomes a Janus, right? Which is the two faces, right? Again, just very simple and cool, right? Four door, right? 44 become the Janus two doors. The all these doorways, two doors, right? And again right here, just the four there and the four there, right? Just two like one four pointing out way and another four pointing out way, say 4 Janus. Nose, say 4 is the nose basically. For example, right here you have it, right? And this is mirrored, right? So basically the codes will often appear in a mirrored form, right? As you can see. So any of these codes, they obviously, mean the same thing. So 6 become 9, and you see this becoming some form of tool as well, like when mirror 3 obviously becomes the same as 8. So as you can see, the codes appear in many forms. So then let's bring the Ruth, the biblical character. Again, fruit, right? Ruth become fruit. See? And obviously one of the major biblical characters. You see here, the key actions of Ruth, right? Was ruling the lineage of David and Jesus, right? So you're talking about this line of transusers. It's basically what it is, with David and Jesus. So this become the fruit, right? So again, it's got to be a metaphor for the usage of the this medicine what you use, right? As now in the Judeo traditions, it's matriarchal, right? It's basically something to do with your God, my God, cleaning in the fields, meeting Boaz, as in Jachin and Boaz, kinsman redeemer. So this is basically again what this is talking about, this is the medicine. Ruth. Obviously, that's the metaphoric story is of this woman, but it's basically about the medicine. Her actions not only transformed her own life, but had lasting implications for Israeli community and the lineage of Christ. It's a foreigner in Moab to a revered matriarch in Israel. So this is basically the medicine, the truth or the fruit. Quintessential convert. It's obviously you have fruit juice, right? So basically this has become truth juice. We have fruit juice. So it's again, you've got a hidden metaphor of the trans medicine. It's just in a glass of fruit juice out there. Jools and how did it originate? Right? just want to give a little shout out to this channel. Doing good work.